What's going on YouTube? It's Tyler here, and I'm going to tell you a few glitches I found in the GrubHub app that you should be aware of if you aren't aware of already, so they can protect you from being pretty annoyed on this shift, because you're trying to make money and then there's something in the app that's stopping you from completing an order or calling the customer. It's good to be aware of that beforehand so you don't have that come up. Now, the first glitch I found in the app that's very annoying is that if you're on a scheduled shift and there is another block that becomes available that overlaps your block, let's say I'm scheduled from 12 to 2, but then 1 to 3 became available. I can't pick up that block for some reason. The only way I can pick up the block is if I drop my shift while doing the shift to pick up the other block while they intersect. So what I have to do is, if I want to pick up that block and it's very, very slow, it's hard to get blocks at the time, I would have to drop the block around 1:30 to pick up the 1 to 3 block and thus work an extra hour. But on GrubHub's end, it's a drop block and it impacts your reliability score. It's a glitch that's been going on for years that they don't seem to care to fix, because the system should understand that in that scenario, I'm only working 3 hours. I should be able to pick up 1 to 3 if I'm on noon to 12, but it somehow thinks that it's 4 hours total and it will not let me do it because it intersects. I don't understand that. It doesn't really make sense. So just as a heads up, that's very annoying. So sometimes you won't see the block available because it'll say overlap. Just drop your other block and then pick it up if you need to. Something else that's also very annoying in the app is that you're supposed to have access to blocks at 10 a.m. on whatever day you're available to get them. I found in many cases the blocks either aren't available at 10 a.m. or they're available a little early. So you find yourself on your phone constantly looking, the block's available, all the blocks available, all the blocks available. And if they're not available right away, you might end up doing something else. In the meantime, they release the blocks to all the other drivers in the market, and then you're screwed because maybe you just got distracted and doing something else in the meantime. You're not going to sit there on your phone for 10 minutes waiting for GrubHub to release the blocks when they're supposed to release them at 10 a.m. and they end up releasing them at 10, 10:05, 10:15. You have no idea. So that's an issue that I wish the app would fix as well. Another glitch I found in the app is that if you're switching between Wi-Fi and 4G LTE, it takes a significant amount of time to switch over. You'll just see the spinning wheel going on the app while you're switching between Wi-Fi, leaving your house, and then going on LTE. Unlike any other app that would switch right away and get the information, the GrubHub app takes about 30 seconds to a minute to fully reconnect when you're switching between networks. And with Wi-Fi, this is an issue that was reported in my market. If you're on Wi-Fi, occasionally, depending on your ISP, GrubHub will not see you according to your GPS. They may see you where the servers are. So let's say, for this example, they were in State College. GrubHub saw them in Philadelphia and removed their blocks because they said something was odd about your account. Essentially what happened was they were on the Comcast server. It showed them they were in Philadelphia, but that doesn't make any sense because they should be using your phone's GPS and not so much what the network says you're at. It should be what the GPS is. So occasionally, if you are on Wi-Fi, there is a very small chance, and this happened in my market, that GrubHub may think you're somewhere else, remove your blocks, and then you can only work off shift, which will impact your earnings. Now, next glitch is incredibly annoying from a driver's perspective. When you arrive at the restaurant, you have to mark arrived while you're there. If you leave and forget to mark that, it will not let you move on to the next step, which means that customer's order will stay on your screen even after you arrive to the customer, because you have to be within a certain feet of the restaurant to hit arrived. And if you forget to do it, you have to call customer care or driver care and tell them, hey, listen, I forgot to hit arrived. And sometimes that can take up to 10 minutes if they're busy. You're on hold waiting for someone to do it. So that's kind of annoying. And the same goes for when you're delivering to the customer. If they happen to have their address change, put the wrong address, and you try to hit arrived and delivered for the order, and it's not exactly on GPS with what GrubHub has, it will not let you move on to the next step, which would be delivered, getting more order. I find that this costs me several dollars a week because I'm not able to hit next, and I have to wait for customer care to clear it out. Driver Care is aware of this issue, and their standpoint is that they're trying to avoid people in other markets that are hitting arrived and delivered before they actually deliver the food, thus increasing their earnings. But I think it's more or less punishing drivers that are doing the right thing, because now I'm sitting here trying to complete the order to hit delivered, but I can't do it just because I didn't hit arrived when I was at the restaurant. I was too busy looking at the actual customer's name, maybe looking at the order or something like that. It's going to happen to you, and I'm sure if it hasn't happened, it will happen. It's very annoying, and I wish Grubhub would fix it. So what if there's a few bad apples? It shouldn't spoil the whole bunch. Now, the last annoying glitch in the app that I'm aware of is Grubhub uses masking when you are calling a customer so you don't have their actual phone information, they don't have yours. Originally, I was okay with this, but the thing that's really annoying is if you hit delivered on an order and then try to call the customer again. Let's say you accidentally left a drink in your car and they weren't at a house, they were in a dorm, they were at the mall or something, you've delivered and you have no way to reach out to them. You're kind of screwed unless you reach out to GrubHub Driver Care. Because as I said, if you go to call the customer after you hit delivered, you'll just be transferred to Driver Care. Again, Grubhub says this is to prevent drivers from hitting delivered and then calling the customer before the item is actually delivered, but I think it's also punishing drivers that are doing the right thing. If you know of any other app glitches that are very annoying and would affect your earnings, leave them in the comments section. This video is meant to prevent you guys from getting into these glitches and getting into trouble and being on hold with support for 10 minutes while trying to deliver an order. If this video was helpful for you, give me a thumbs up. Feel free to comment, subscribe, and I hope you have an awesome day. Let's keep making money with Grubhub.